Finals just had a brand new update 2.10. We also got some additional developer updates with that and some notations on the patch. We got some new sponsor leaks as well as some showcases with that there. We have a new lore video that just dropped with the intro, a brand new community event for Season 2, and some further additional information around the Dolphin Unlock. We got a ton to talk about. What's up world, it's Utopia back in with another video. Today we're checking out all things The Final. Okay, so as always, let's just jump right into the patch notes. We'll get into the Discord notation as well as what's on the website. Okay, so jumping over to the Discord video, that 2.10 update post by Oscar, who went on here to say we're nearing the end of the season and we're making sure to go out with a bang. Starting today, you will get 10 times as much XP from daily contracts and 50% more XP from in-game performance. We're also launching the final community event of Season 2, challenging you all to deal 18 billion damage to the enemy contestants in 1 week. If you succeed, the final pink item will be yours. I'll go on to talk about the community event in more details in a minute, but he did go on here to say that we're also making changes to the APS turret, buffing the throwing knives and fixing the annoying voice chat bug on Xbox, which then leads us over to the website version of the patch. They said here again, as we near the end of Season 2, it's time to boost some XP to giving Helping Hand for that battle pass, where they went on here to further clarify that they're making some changes with the APS turret to make it less of a powerhouse. And yeah, first up on the patch notes here, we do have the gadget APS. New feature, the APS turret now consumes a set amount of health for each projectile it destroys. The health cost per destroyed projectile is 40%. There is some controversy and some more notations about this change that I'll go over in a minute as well, but I want to get through the rest of the patch notes. So next up here we have weapons and throwing knives here, where they did a bunch of changes here and a lot of buffs to them. They reduced the delay of the first projectile spawn from 0.22 to 0.11 to make it attack more responsive. They reduced the delay between the first and the second projectile spawning from 0.15 to 0.11 to make it easier to land both knives on a moving target. They also increased the projectile speed from 138 to 166 meters per second, which will increase the weapon's precision, and they increased the primary attack damage from 60 to 63. So some major changes there for the throwing knife, a little small buff there to the damage, but some massive changes for the accuracy there, and we might see some more throwing knives in play. Now the big section here was the content and bug fixes. There was an animation fix and some audio fixes here with voice chat over on the Xbox. They had some fixes here for the characters' hairstyles as well as in-game appearance during the intro screen. Controller also got a fix here where the contracts using a controller would break when selected focus. The major ones here are under game mode. They fixed a bug where heal beam and defibrillators could be used in terminal attack, but we have seen that be an edge case on a few occasions. There's some major ones under gameplay section as well, which is this one here where I went over it in my previous videos, where they fixed an unintentional free look enabled when interacting with objects statues. So before, you were not able to look around when reviving somebody or even taking a cash out. Somewhere between 2.7 and 2.9, this got patched out or changed, but it was an unintentional bug there. So now you're no longer to actually free look around while doing those things, and you will have to take the consequential act of actually reviving somebody and just appearing at that section. You won't actually be able to do a 360 or look around, and I think that is a good change there overall. And this major one here, which I was experiencing a lot on Power Shift since I mostly play that for the videos as well, they fixed an issue where players could get stuck colliding with goo when on moving platform. And yeah, essentially anytime you touch the goo on a moving platform, you would get stuck in it. So I'm super happy they fixed that stuff there, as I do really like Power Shift and I also use it for my video footage, so that is a good change for me overall. Under progression, we had some big issues fixed. With this one here, where if you would win a terminal attack, it did not count toward your first win of the day, or even win X amount of games contract. So that should now be fixed and tracking appropriately. The community event progress is now displayed on the leaderboard screen, so you'll no longer need to go to a third-party website, although I will link to that down below when I do go over that discussion. Daily contracts, of course, were increased from 1,000 to 10,000 XP. And of course we had that 50% XP bonus. The settings section here got a major change for Steam players. They would now support Steam invites. There's a bunch of UI changes. There was a lot of issues there with that overall. However, the major one here, which has a dev note next to it, is they added a new system to the front and then limits the frame rate and resolution after receiving no user input for a while, or when the app is not in focus. Of course, this is going to help save some energy, spare your PCs and consoles working too hard when the game is idling, and that it only affects when you're in the main menu, but it can be toggled in the new energy saving section of the video settings. A big one and a massive change here for the security section. They have now increased their detection of devices that emulate a controller while playing with a mouse and keyboard, which is not permitted. Essentially, there are programs that will give you aim assist with a mouse and keyboard, so they have furthered the detection there with that, which is really good. And they also improved the current detection method for increased accuracy. That does cover for the patch notes. However, quickly I will go over the community event stuff. We have another post here from Embark Oscar, who went on to say this is the last pink community item and will make a pretty nice collection of these. and then they'll change it up for Season 3 to completely change the theme. This time he's challenging, of course, the 18 billion damage in 1 week, and this can be applied across all game modes and types of damage. And of course, they said that for the first time you can track the event progress in-game and not have to use the third-party website to track the leaderboards. However, you can also head to that website down below. I'll include the link to it if you want to track it on there. Which he doesn't disclose here, but that brand new pink item is the t-shirt itself. Again, that will complete the pink set for the community events and this season. We also had a brand new intro and lore video that just dropped with 2.10. This will happen upon your first launch with the new patch. However, if you just want to hear it or you missed it, I will play that for you now.
Envia recommends rebooting the whole system. The whole system, Scotty.
I mean, if it's the only way to stabilize everything.
If they hit that reset button.
We have no choice, June. The showrunners are losing control and something needs to be done.
I'm telling you, Scotty, the AI won't just sit back and let him go through with this.
You mean, we built that thing. It can't stop us.
It can take us anywhere.
Okay, so jumping back into it, we're going to go over some of the community stuff as well as some of the dev updates. Now, there has been a few community things and community discussions around the new patch. That is with the APS and the APS turret change. There has been this discussion here where the APS eats 3 nades and then it's gone, which is that it might not be necessarily the 40% of its current health. This has been tested thoroughly, at least, or this has been tested overall. This also does apply to the goo gun, so if you're using the goo, it uses also 40%, which means that you can make the APS despawn very quickly with that. A lot of people want the change here where it only eats up 2% of that, where gadgets should eat 40%. Overall, there's a lot of controversy around this change. This really does nerf the APS quite significantly. I do think overall it is nice for them to shake up the meta. Is this a bit of a harsh nerf? Yes, but we also saw that with the cloak and light nerf. But I do think it's fairly okay for them to change up the meta overall. Although I do know some people are kind of upset with this change. We'll have to see how it plays out in the arena itself. It seems like in most modes, APS isn't really used anyways, except for Power Shift and a few others. Especially since I play Power Shift, I'll let you guys know how much I feel the nerf there in the coming videos. We also did have those dev updates as well as the Easter egg updates with the Dolphin. We had a cool interaction here between Rob and Rockhound, who is a fellow content creator, where Rob did ask here, do you know the name of the little dolphin? He said it's not lore or anything, but can you guess? And Rockhound here did say if it was Opal, that would blow my mind, which back in the day was a famous dolphin in New Zealand. Rob replied here saying yes it is. Kind of some cool back and forth there. Rob also did go over some of the newer sponsors, where even on the wiki they don't have a name for this one as of yet, which Rob pointed this out that they didn't have a name on the wiki for it yet. They also showcased a more higher res version of the Dasan logo, so some cool 2 sponsors there that we'll see in the future. A last bit of mentionable here is we do have the new store bundles as well as some cosmetics that weren't displayed. We do have this one here, the brand new DXZ set, or next up we do have the Pastel Rebel. And then we also have 2 additional cosmetics that weren't showcased in the video, as well as kind of in hidden bundles, or at least hidden separate items. This one here under face wear, the Bad News bandana. And then we also have under upper body the zipless hoodie. Again, with each update, they always kind of deploy more cosmetics over the contestants tab, where they're not actually in the store or showcased in the store. They've done this with a lot of the updates, so you kind of just have to find them overall. However, I'll do my best to point those out to you when I do find them. Overall, that's what I'll cover for today's video. I'm curious on the patch notes and what you guys think of the APS change. And if you enjoyed today's video, like and subscribe. And until the next one, deuces.